Charlie, how you doing today? It's cold out there, so
It is. It's chilly, but the sun's out, which is really nice.
Okay, it's not the season of yuck. We're done with that?
No, the season of yuck has ended.
Okay.
That is officially over because baseball season has officially started. Although, I mean, we might as well bring it up. Although currently, as we start the show, the Red Sox are losing.
I had a text that said that the Red Sox are making the Baltimore Orioles look like the 1927 Yankees today.
And that's not good. So
that might be extreme.
Yeah, they're currently in the top of the eighth. The Sox are losing 2-0, and here's the best part. We talked about how we love their offense. At least
we did not.
I guess I talked about how I love their offense.
Yes.
They currently have one hit in the eighth inning.
So good call on that one.
Yeah, well, I said to you pre-show that we're not going to base the entire Red Sox season on the first game that's still currently in the eighth inning.
No, but we're probably going to base a lot of this show on it.
Yeah, probably. I'm probably not going to be able to avoid that.
No, so you're looking at a long 60 minutes.
Yeah. We got. I mean, I know you're going to preview the show, but we got a pretty awesome show today, packed full of all sorts of cool stuff.
Do you want to go there?
Yeah. I mean, can we talk about it just a little bit?
Yeah.
Like we're going to be getting a Kingswood spring preview from Coach Mike Shaw, the head coach of the Kingswood softball team.
Duran hotline.
Right on
Duran
the
is independent.
Yeah,
works for you.
He does. He works for us, which is great. And then we're going to have a guy that I've known forever, Ray Sterling. He's going to be talking to us. He's worked in many facets of professional sports. He's going to share that with us, and then we're going to have a little conversation later on about a question that we have about who we'd like to have a cup of coffee with as far as a professional athlete.
Can mine be like a beer? Can I have
that's
a beer?
right. You don't drink coffee, but of course,
Coke?
here's the interesting thing because you pick on me when we're off air. And people don't know that, so we should let people know that I'm picked on. I almost bullied. But you always say, "Who'd you pick, Mike Trout?" And no, I didn't pick Mike Trout. But I wouldn't mind having a cup of coffee with Mike Trout.
If I would have bet that you would have picked Mike Trout.
I know, that's what you said.
You have no idea who I'm picking.
You said that to me.
I have not shared who I'm picking.
Which is exciting, so we'll find out later.
It was a discussion.
You know what the other thing is? We're going to have trivia today.
It was my question, so it's legit, and it's really difficult.
Yeah, totally legit. That's awesome.
So you had mentioned what we have on the show. There's a lot, and we also got our Boston sports to talk about. But for opening takes, I asked for some help on the opening take today. I was.
You asked for some help. You asked me for help?
No, not for you. I didn't.
I was
going to
say I would have helped. I'm there to help you, buddy.
This is what's because we rant twice a week.
Yeah.
We rant about something, and
we do have rants.
Yeah. And so I reached out for some help, but I want you to go first because you have more written here.
Yeah, well, like I said, I always put my notes in here. All right, so here's the take, and Eric's, I think, going to get very excited about this. Overall, people who watch sports and listen to sports radio, mostly Mike and the Hoss, are healthier. They're healthier, Eric. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you why. And this is true. This is not based on just me saying, hey, it's true. This is based on some studies done by people that are a lot smarter than me. So people that listen to sports radio or watch sports, there's a lower risk of anxiety and depression. And we know because of COVID, with people being kind of stuck inside the house, that those mental illnesses are popping up. So there's more social activity because if you go to the game, certainly you're going to be at the game with people or friends, and you're going to interact with other fans, and certainly through social media, Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and all of the different, TikToks and all that. People are going to have an opportunity to interact with each other about sports. Here's the thing, Mike. This is good for you. A brain workout. All right, fans get the opportunity to analyze plays. We can anticipate what's next. We can coach from our couch or the stands. Here's the best part. You're going to build relationships. You're going to connect with other people that love the same team. You've been at a Red Sox game or any sporting event. Someone hits a home run, and you're high-fiving everyone, going crazy.
Not anymore.
Well, yeah, maybe not anymore, but just pre-COVID, you're doing that. You're yelling down at JBJ. He's ignoring you, but everyone else high-fiving. It's awesome. All right, you
love JBJ.
I know you do. You're able to connect with people because you guys share something in common, your love of whatever that sports team is. The best part is, and I kind of threw this in, it doesn't matter if you're a Republican, a Democrat, doesn't matter your skin color, what your religion is, doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You guys all share the thing in common, your love of whatever that sports team is. And they did some studies, and I would love to be part of some of these studies because they're pretty amazing, that they figured that the avid sports fan, and they even said even the recreational sports fan, typically are healthier and are a little bit, they're well-adjusted, and they're able to do their jobs better. They're able to live longer because they support a team.
So the well-adjusted part.
Yeah.
Obviously, they didn't do the study in Boston at like a Bruins game or a Celtics game or a Red Sox game.
Yeah, you can get a little crazy, of course.
A little crazy?
Yeah, well, you can get really crazy. But
that's just
that
funny.
is still part of being able to.
You know, I agree with all of it. Except I've had this thing in my back pocket about social media.
Yeah,
and
you're not
how
liking
it's ruining
social
sports.
media. Yeah,
and how it's just ruining sports, and I'm still not ready to make that take today.
Right.
It's like I said, it's building.
Yeah,
it is building. But you go to a Red Sox game, there's 40,000 people, 38,000 people there.
Yeah.
36,000 of them are on their phone.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. They're checking it.
The netting that they put up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why the netting is put up right now?
Because people aren't watching the game. They're not paying attention.
They're on their phones.
Yeah, they're not paying attention.
I mean, baseball's been playing there for 100 years. They didn't need netting.
No.
All of a sudden, they need netting.
Yeah.
The ball's not getting hit any
because everybody's
harder.
down like this.
Everybody's down looking at their phones.
Exactly.
So I have an issue with social media as far as that goes. I don't think it's necessarily healthier to go to a game and stick on your phone and watch your Twitter feed the whole time.
I don't think this was referring to social media like at a game. I think this is like us right now. Like where I'm on social media right now while we're on the show, just seeing what people are saying about the Red Sox. That's what I mean.
Okay.
And then I could interact with them and disagree or agree.
I think it is a brain workout. I mean, right now, if we would not be doing the show talking about whatever we were going to talk about today,
right,
I'd be home doing some chores.
Yeah.
That's probably what I would be doing. So I do think that is a brain workout. I mean, we spend the day at school, which is a brain workout in itself.
Obviously.
All day long. We're
definitely
challenging the kids, and it's an intellectual grind. But this adds to it, and this is a whole separate kind, though, because
right.
I can't vent to the kids like I do to you.
Right.
You say that I'm bullying you, but I can't do that to the 14-year-old in the class.
No.
But it is. I think sports do bring a little bit of euphoric feeling, especially. And we've talked about this before. When your team wins,
right,
it's like you were on the field.
Absolutely.
If it's a team that you're passionate about, you're following.
Yeah.
It is like you were on the field. The 2001 Patriots.
Yeah.
When they won. Couldn't believe it. When Vinatieri kicked the field goal through, couldn't believe it. He had that rush. 04 Red Sox.
Yeah.
Same exact
and what's
thing.
The first response is always, we won. And we had nothing to do with it, but we did. We won. And that's, people get all excited because we're part of the team.
And it works the other way when they lose.
Yes.
I mean, for the run that the Patriots were on, when they've lost to the Giants in those two Super Bowls, that hurt.
Yeah. It was painful.
I mean, like not sleeping well that night and not wanting to talk to anybody in school the next day.
Being a little sullen.
Yes.
Being down.
So it does affect your mood.
It does.
If you're a sports fan, it does affect your mood. I know that personally I try to limit that. I think me not sleeping at night because the Patriots loses is a little bit over the top.
Yeah.
I'm not proud of those moments.
No, but that's how you feel. But the thing is, you get over it quick enough because your anticipation. Well, maybe not the Super Bowl because that's a long anticipation.
I'm still holding
but if you
on to
lose,
that.
if you lose,
first loss to the Giants,
if you lose
to.
during the regular season, your anticipation is okay. The next game, what do they have to do and build for that win? So that gets exciting.
And the off season gets really exciting, which we're going to talk a lot about. Which kind of drives our show because the off season is almost as exciting as the regular season.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to get a little hint from you when I do my take here about what the Patriots are doing compared to what the Red Sox and what the Celtics and what the Bruins have been doing over the years.
Right. And I don't think that's what when you use the term casual fan, I don't think that's what the casual fan understands, or people that are like, why do you waste your time talking about sports or rooting for sports? And they don't understand that it isn't just in the moment, like you're going to watch a game. It's okay. How are they going to build for the future? What moves do they need to make? It's
fantasy.
It's fantasy. It's a hobby. It's exciting. Some people build model rocket ships, and this is that's a hobby that's exciting for people. This is exciting for a large group of people. And you're right though with the whole media thing, the whole social media, and even maybe some of the radio talk shows, because a lot of the radio talk shows, and we do it a little bit, but they kind of just spew venom all the time. It's always down, 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 down.
Well, it's the social media, the internet, and yes, radio. It's that clickbait stuff. Look if you watch Stephen A. Smith or Max Kellerman,
Right.
They're saying things that are just trying to get a rise out of people.
That's right.
And they do it very well, and they're very successful,
Very good
and they've
at
made a
it.
ton of money doing it. But that's the reason why they're doing it. They're saying it's like shock jock. They're saying some things that really get people going, and what happens is people start clicking on those stories. They start clicking on those stories. The next thing you know, they tune in.
Yep.
I guess it's part of the game.
Exactly. That's their advertisers love it.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
What do you got? What's your take today?
Well, mine's very brief because I've certainly gone there before, but I said all Boston sports teams need to take a page out of the Patriots playbook. Ownership right now is not happy with what happened last year.
Right. Patriots ownership.
The Patriots ownership is not happy with what happened last year, and they're verbalizing that. They're saying, we're not doing that again.
Right.
And so what did they do?
They went out and got what they needed.
They went out and got what they needed. They actually addressed the needs that they have.
Yeah.
The Patriots have never overvalued their talent. And, they will get rid of somebody when they think it's time to get rid of, including Tom Brady. And, yes, that was a mistake, and we both believe that was a mistake.
Yes.
But for that one mistake, they've been right many, many more times.
Right.
And I would say that Tom Brady is probably the only one that they haven't been right about. Malcolm Butler, released.
Yeah.
He's somewhere else. Kyle Van Noy, released. He's back with the Patriots. Yeah. So I just think that these other teams, and we're down on the Celtics, very down on the Celtics. I'm down on the Bruins. Your Red Sox don't look like they're going to be doing anything. My Red Sox, too. That's not fair.
I was going to say. They're currently losing
that's
3-0
Your
now.
Celtics, but
You got that? They're down 3-0.
3-0 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
they have the offense to come back, don't they?
absolutely.
Oh, yeah, right.
You just wait till the 9th.
But what the Red Sox have done is created no excitement in the offseason, and we're seeing the results of that right now. There's many tickets available.
Mm-hmm.
You can go find a ticket for next Wednesday's game against Tampa for face value.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We should go.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Who are we going to go see?
Tampa Bay.
No.
Oh.
Who in the Red Sox are you going to go see?
Oh, I want to go see Rafael Devers. I want to see Xander Bogaerts. I want to see J.D. Martinez. I want to see Christian Vasquez. You want me to keep going?
You're digging now.
I want to see Matt Barnes.
Oh, gee. He's on COVID.
Everybody,
Oh, that's right.
He's back. Everybody wants to see Matt Barnes.
It's just not there. It's just the excitement's not there. The Celtics at the trade deadline, Squatola.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Evan Fournier is like 1 for 31 since he's been a Celtic.
I know.
That's not really, and he got a green car. Congratulations, he bought a $100,000 green car because he's a Celtic.
Yeah.
Who cares? Again, that's social media. That's brand. That's trying to beef up his clicks.
I'm still
and
upset
his
about
followers.
I'm still upset about his tweet. So.
Well, that was about trying to get people to follow him.
Yeah.
That wasn't about trying to be cute. That was trying to get clicks, trying to get people to follow him. Social media is ruining sports, which is a whole other take. The Bruins, their trade deadline's coming. They desperately need some help. But they're not going to give up anybody of value for them.
No.
They just don't want to do that.
How about the fact that Chara is playing like 20 minutes a game?
I was going to go there. The Bruins need a veteran defenseman more than any other team in the league.
They had one.
They had one of the...
And now he's on
he was their
on
captain
the number one
for
team.
crying out loud.
Yeah.
He's on the first-place team playing 20 minutes a game.
Yep.
Leading.
Yep.
He's leading a team. And you had him.
It's like Tom Brady-esque.
Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
Mookie Betts. Did they do enough to keep Mookie Betts? Did they try really hard to keep Mookie Betts? I mean, I've gone both ways on that because you got rid of David Price, number 1 on our list.
Yes.
But was there another way? The Red Sox are a big market team. Why couldn't they just pay off David Price, say, see you later?
Yeah. They
Be
should
done.
have. Yeah.
And then let's sign Mookie Betts. It's just that kind of stuff is bothering. I like how the Patriots respond to what they need. We saw it happen in 2007. What happened? They went to the Super Bowl. They went undefeated. Yeah. The only 16-0 team ever because the NFL has added a 17th
That's right,
game.
because the Dolphins hadn't played. Yeah.
So the only 16-0 team that will ever be. But they went out Welker and Moss and a bunch of guys on defense. And Delius Thomas.
And do you think? That's because of Robert Kraft. He's willing to open up his pocketbook.
Yes, but it's they went on a spending spree.
Yeah.
But they just didn't pluck every single guy up. There was a plan.
Of course, there's a plan.
No, I don't think all these other teams necessarily have a plan.
That's true.
I don't think the Washington football team, when Dan Snyder opens up his pocketbook, he just tries to grab all the guys that have names.
Yeah.
You could see what Belichick was doing, what kind of offense he wanted to run, what kind of defense he wants to run,
and the players that he needed.
So there's a plan there, and they respond when they are not doing well. They respond, and it's healthy. And I just wish these other teams would follow suit.
I agree with you.
All right, we will be right back, and we're gonna have an what time's Coach Shaw calling?
Right now, we're gonna give Coach Shaw a call,
and then we'll do the announcements. Okay.
Yep.
All right, Mike and the Hoss. We'll be right back.
Mike
All right, we have a on the Kingswood Hotline, brought to you by Duran Independent Insurance. Duran is independent, works for you. We should have Coach Mike Shaw, the Kingswood varsity softball coach, on the line. Coach, can you hear us?
Yes, guys. How you doing?
All right,
Great.
Coach. Thanks for calling. First of all, congratulations on getting a spring season. We've been doing that for the past year because we didn't have one last year. So let's just get right to it. How's the team looking so far?
The team is looking really, really good this year, guys. We're really excited about it. I actually have 4 of my seniors with me today listening in and going to talk to you guys, too. I'm liking it. I mean, I know it's regional play, but we're feeling pretty confident about it. We've pretty deep, all positions. I got 4 strong pitchers this year, and we're ready. We're ready to get going.
Opening day is April 12th. Is that correct? Yeah. Which is a week from Monday.
Yes, against Plymouth. We're Plymouth at home.
Awesome. That's awesome. Who are the seniors you have with you?
I've got Allie Drew. I've got Maggie Shaw, Irina Pettit, and Brooke Eldridge.
Awesome. Well, let's start off by wishing Allie Drew. I hope you had a great birthday. So happy birthday, Allie.
Thank you.
But yeah, I want to hear from you guys. Coach is there, which is great. But tell me a couple things. I want to know some of the strengths of the team and what your expectations are this year.
I think we have a lot of good pitchers this year, and we have a lot of people for every position.
We have a really strong infield right now. We're just pretty much filling spots for the outfield.
As of right now, all of us have played together, and we have a great team connection, and I think it's going to be the best year for us.
We have 3 freshmen on the varsity team this year, which is definitely different, but they're all looking pretty solid, so I feel like it will be a good team this year.
Girls, not having the season last year, did you feel like you had a little bit more rust that you had to knock off, or were you able to just pick up where you left off the year before?
I don't think so, because Coach Mike was able to get our fall season started, and we played all through the summer, which was really nice, and we were able to play together and stay in good shape.
That's great. So what about expectations? I know everybody makes the playoffs, which is great. It sounds like, having talked to Coach Shaw and you guys, it sounds like you guys are going to be able to make a pretty deep run in the playoffs.
Yeah.
We're hoping.
That's the plan.
Definitely the plan. I get that.
Coach, do we know if it's an open playoff yet? Have they set that up yet?
I believe so. I believe how it works is you're going to be in regional pods. So if I'm not mistaken, our regional pod will probably be Kennett, Laconia, and Plymouth, which the plus to that is we do get to see them twice in the regional play for our regular season. So at least I'll know what I'm kind of going up against. It's tough once you move past that, but if you don't see the Salhegans and the Milfords and all that. But then again, those teams are all in the same boat too. So
definitely. Ladies, are any of you guys planning on playing softball at the next level?
I am. I'm Irina Pettit. I'm planning on playing in college.
I am too. Maggie Shaw, I'm planning on playing in college too.
You guys have I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
I am too. Brooke Eldridge. I'm going to try and play next year in college.
Allie?
Um,
Are you awake? Allie, are you awake?
She's still celebrating her birthday.
She's celebrating her birthday.
I'm still thinking about it.
That's good.
Hey, Coach, back to you. It's much different playing in these regional pods because you're seeing teams that you haven't seen before. Who's from what you know, would be a powerhouse in the group that you have? Who's going to be your best competition?
That's a really good question. Taking lessons over the winter and talking to our pitching coach, who really does know a lot of the teams pretty well. I do hear that Prospect Mountain actually has a really strong pitcher. We did actually play Kennett quite a bit over the summer because they had actually put a fall ball team together too. So I feel pretty confident going up against them. I don't know Plymouth. I don't know Guilford. I hear Winnisquam is not quite as strong, and we've got Belmont. So it's kind of I think they're all probably pretty solid teams. I just don't know if there's a powerhouse out there, but I'm kind of hoping it's us.
There you go. I hope so too. Just what's your opening rotation look like, Coach? Who's pitching? Who's your 1, 2, 3, 4?
I think what we're going to do as far as our starters, I'm probably going to go with Audrey Daggett. Audrey has probably 5 or 6 pitches under her belt right now, working all winter strong. Probably after 4 or 5 innings for her, I will bring in my freshman, Morgan Stevens, to close out because, I mean, Morgan's throwing 58 to 60 right now. And she's got, yeah, so it'll be, it'll be like baseball, bringing that closer to throw the heat, and that's my strategy. Well, I guess the good thing about the regional play is there's no seeding, so it does give you the opportunity to try a lot of things. Of course, you want to win every game, but you get that opportunity to try a few things, make some changes. So when it's time to playoffs, we know exactly what we're doing.
That's a great point, Coach. And we've talked about the regional play with some of the other seasons, and one of the things that you don't have to travel as far either.
That will be nice. Yeah, I don't mind not going to Milford or Salhegan, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, that is a great feature. All right, Charlie's got one more question.
It's more of a comment. Just so you guys know, first of all, thank you guys so much for being on the show. And the other thing is, we're excited because as you guys get closer to the playoffs, we'd love to have you back on the show to kind of preview playoffs and talk about your season. And Mike and I just want to say thanks again. We wish you guys, obviously, all the luck in the world. We're going to be there to support you. Go Knights, and we hope to talk to you guys soon.
All right, guys. We appreciate it an awful lot, too, for having us. We're hoping for the best.
Good luck, girls.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Take care.
All the teams need to bring their captains or their seniors with them.
It's so great to talk to the players, to the students.
And that was well done by
Coach Shaw.
That was great. All right, we got some announcements we need to make.
Oh, we do. I was checking the Red Sox score. It's still 3-0. All right. So a couple of announcements, and you heard these last week, but Kingswood Cal Ripken baseball registrations are still happening. That also includes softball. So please go to kcrbl.com to register your players. That would be awesome. I know they're looking for more players. Mike and the Hoss are making a temporary move to Fridays, starting on April 16th.
To just Fridays.
Starting on April 16th, we're going to be on from 4 to 6 p.m. Once again, it's a temporary move, just 4, 5, 6 weeks.
But we're basically going to be doing 2 shows. We're going to have trivia. We're going to have Eric's Wonders.
Yeah, absolutely.
And any games that we normally do, we're going to be putting those in. So it's going to be 2 shows.
Try to keep that format.
Yep.
And it's just really for baseball season to accommodate some practice schedules. And the good news, I think we mentioned this the other day, is Mike and the Hoss podcasts are now on Spotify.
We
are on Spotify, and we're looking to get to other venues.
So you
well.
can just search for us on Spotify, Mike and the Hoss on WASR, and you'll find us. Not just one episode, you'll find all of our episodes.
That's cool.
Anything that we've done on the radio is up there. So please follow us on Spotify.
Which is great.
All right. We got a couple minutes. We're going to talk March Madness. They're down to 4.
They are down to 4. So you got number 1 Baylor playing number 2 Houston, and you have number 1 Gonzaga playing number 11 UCLA.
I'm not sure if there really are 2 number 1s here.
I agree. I agree with you. Yeah.
There's a 1, and then there's a 1A.
Yes.
What we've seen from Gonzaga right now is that's UNLV stuff, and I know UNLV lost to Duke.
Yeah.
But I would say that that's an anomaly, and yes, anybody could beat anybody on any night.
Right.
But I think if Gonzaga played any of these teams 10 times, they're going to win
9 of the 10.
9.5 of the 10 times.
Yeah.
I mean, they really are. That's how good they are.
I agree with that.
It's pretty interesting, and I think that yes, we talked about Cinderellas, and UCLA is definitely a Cinderella at 11. But now you have another story. You have a truly dominant team.
You do.
You have that powerhouse dominant team, and Gonzaga for a long time has been there. It's that small school.
Yep.
And
they're always around.
Great basketball program. They just seem to get there, and they were always been the Cinderella.
Mm-hmm.
Gonzaga. Remember 20 years ago, Gonzaga was the Cinderella, and it was like, who's Gonzaga? Where's Gonzaga from?
And they've been lingering the whole time.
And they've been 32. Oh, Sweet 16. Elite 8, really? But Gonzaga.
That being said, though, aren't you rooting for UCLA? Don't you want to see the Cinderella?
No, I don't, because I don't think a school that has 80,000 people is a Cinderella team. I don't.
But I'm talking
that.
about you have to look at the rankings right now, and this is an 11 seed.
Well, that's a fail. That's a fail for them because they have that big of a school.
So I'm going on record. I'm rooting for UCLA. I love the Pac-12, and I hope the UCLA upsets number 1 Gonzaga.
I hope Gonzaga blows their doors off.
I know you do.
Just because you're rooting
Just because I'm
for
going
them.
for UCLA.
That's the only reason.
It should be exciting. I think I told you the only teams that I have left are Houston and Gonzaga. So even though, but that's it. I don't have anything. I don't have any of the teams. I had picked Alabama and Arkansas to play in the championship game.
Well, if we were doing the school bracket,
Yeah.
and you had 2 Final Four teams left,
Yeah.
you'd probably be doing okay.
Yeah.
Especially with one of them being a 2.
Right. In the bracket that I'm in, though, I'm not doing okay.
Well,
but that's okay.
I understand. I'm rooting for the big powerhouse.
Okay.
Now, Baylor does have a player, I forget his name, but they have a player that's considered the most important player in the tournament because he is so good. Is that game final yet?
No, the game's not final. The Red Sox game is just the bottom of the 8th. It's been there for a while. Still 3-0.
And how many hits do the Red Sox have?
They still have 1 hit.
1 hit. That's
Yeah.
a powerhouse right
Yeah,
there.
it's quite the
How's
hit.
that offense doing, Charlie?
Yeah. It's a tough day.
Tough day
For the Red Sox.
It's cold out there. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not a northern team. Oh yeah, they are.
They are a northern team, yeah. Apparently it's okay for the Orioles because they scored some runs. I don't know. But so I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to the Final Four. I'm looking forward to college basketball. It's always an exciting time.
You know what's thrown me off? The schedule has thrown me off this year because normally it's Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
This time it's been Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yes, Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, you get Monday, Tuesday.
Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's something to deal with COVID because everything deals with COVID.
Probably.
But that's thrown me off a little bit because you get to Sunday and you say, okay, who's the Final Four? And you're like, no, they haven't played yet.
You gotta wait, yeah.
You gotta wait till Tuesday.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm. It's different. Everything's different.
Yeah.
You said that people are thinking out of the box and they're doing things differently.
They are.
I'm not sure if I'm on board with that.
No.
I kind of like that Thursday afternoon, especially at the beginning of March Madness when there's 32 games on.
Have you thought any more about last week when we talked about changing, the baseball season, at least in the Northeast, to having it in the fall? Have you thought any more about that, or you're still anti?
I've thought about it, and I'm still anti.
Yeah. Well, that's okay.
I
mean, you're just kind of set in your ways.
You know what I'd like to hear? I'd like to hear Chip Skelly, his take on that.
That would be great.
Because it would directly affect him because he's the high school coach.
And he's been around forever.
And I'd be curious on what his thoughts were on that.
Yeah. Who better than to bring in an expert?
But doing it to try it is different than I want to do this because this makes sense.
Right.
Would you agree with that?
I agree with that.
Okay, so I'm okay for doing it to try it to see what it looks like.
But I think it makes sense.
I'm not sure about that. I'm just not sure.
Let's get his. Let's get his take at some point. It's just I find it interesting.
I was thinking about that football would start practices would start in February.
Yeah.
That's what they did in Massachusetts. They started down in February.
Right.
It's hard to have a football practice inside the gym.
Right.
Where you can with baseball.
Yeah,
and we have great facilities at Kingswood right now with the practice gym.
We
and
do.
The hitting cages, and we got another one coming. It's really nice. But we also have 3 gyms that we could work around, and there's a lot of tools that you could bring inside. I'm not sure if 75 football players in full pads makes a lot of sense for starting inside the gym.
I would love that for Kingswood. 75 football players. That'd be awesome. We should actually ask Coach Landry about it, too, because he'd have a take whether or not he want to play football in the spring.
We are way over. We are going to come back with the trivia and Mike and the Hoss. All right, it's trivia time. Here's your trivia question for the day. In Major League Baseball, who has the record for the most leadoff home runs of all time?
Wow. So, leadoff home runs of all time.
Did you know this one right away?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. So
we were just talking about the level of baseball knowledge that you would be at to understand this question.
To understand this.
So in Major League Baseball, who has the record for the most lead off? So that means you are the first batter of the game.
Yep.
Not the inning.
Nope.
The game.
Yeah.
Of all time.
Yep.
Home runs of all time.
Start the game.
Yes.
Boom. Which is good. I think just based on this, I think this is a very easy question. So, because you always think my questions are simple.
I do, but I'm not giving a lot of information about who this guy played for, if he talked to you in the outfield or not, because that's an important factor.
That is an important factor, and we could talk about that maybe if people get the answer to this. So.
If they get the answer.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think I gave it a minute. I figured somebody was going to call.
So once again, who has the record in Major League Baseball for the most leadoff home runs of all time? Give us a call at 569-5253 or 569-LAKE.
All right, you have a cool story of the day.
Yeah, cool story of the day. So, did you know about this before?
I did not.
I did not. So here's a cool story of the day. So yesterday was supposed to be opening day or no, it was supposed to be. It was opening day. It was supposed to be. It was opening day. It wasn't for the Red Sox because the Red Sox got rained out, and the Red Sox are currently playing. But looks like
there
we
it
got
is. Boy, I was pretty close. About a minute.
Yeah.
About a minute.
Got a call coming in.
Hello, you're calling Mike and the Hoss. Do you have an answer for us?
Yeah, Ricky Henderson.
Well done.
Yes, absolutely.
Well done. All right, stay on the line, and we will get your information.
All right.
All right, so
passing over to Eric. So, so the answer to your question you asked, did Ricky Henderson ever talk to me? Absolutely, because when I was out, and my buddy who's going to call in later would go to games with me, but when Ricky was playing for the Oakland A's, he would be out in left field, and Ricky Henderson spent more time talking to the fans sometimes than he did paying attention to baseball. But what an incredible player.
He played for 25 years.
Wow.
25 years.
That's crazy.
He had 81, I believe is the number, leadoff home runs. That means there 81 games of his career.
Boom.
He's led off the game with a home run.
Yeah.
Played for the Red Sox for a little bit.
He did. Yeah.
And he was good. He was good when he played for them. He was in his 40s.
Yeah. He also stole bases. Remember that?
And he stole bases.
Yes.
And he has, and I don't have it in front of me, his stolen base record will we talk about records that'll never be caught.
Yeah.
That's the one, that will never get caught.
No one's going to catch him.
But, I mean, he was stealing 120 bases a year for a stretch.
It's sick.
It was really incredible.
Yeah. And what a player, and what a character as well.
Yep.
Just fans loved him.
Yep.
All right, so the cool story of the day, 3 high school teammates, all right? These are 3 players that played together in high school, were opening day starters yesterday in Major League Baseball. We have Lucas Giolito, Max Fried, and Jack Flattery. They all played high school ball together at Harvard Westlake Prep in Los Angeles. They graduated 9 years ago. Here's an interesting thing, Mike, that the team that they were on, the high school team, finished 24 wins, 5 losses, and 1 tie in 2012, and they didn't win the California State Championship. They had three pitchers that now play. Oh, they weren't all pitchers at the time, but that now play in Major League Baseball. And I know Eric would ask this because Eric's kind of a math guy. What are the chances of 3 baseball players in the same high school team making a big league roster? It's 1 in 100,000.
I'm surprised it's not more than that.
Well, it's more than that, and it would be more than that if you looked at one specific program, in a specific period of time, because they looked at that where there was some astronomical, like 1 in a billion. But this is three just having the 3 baseball players making a big league roster.
Because there's a stat out there that basically a kid in Cal Ripken has a 1 in a million chance of making it to the Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
So for 3,
and they base this off. They said there are approximately 10,000 high school programs in the United States.
I just got an alert on my phone that there's a fire down around Laner Street.
Oh no!
A big structural fire. So
gosh, hope everybody's okay.
I know. Stay out of that area.
Stay out of Laner Street down Wolfeboro.
Let the firemen do their thing.
So that's your cool story of the day. I think that's really neat. The fact that all these guys played together and they were all opening pitchers on opening day. Obviously,
I think that's a really cool story, and the fact that they're on the same team and
for high school. Yeah.
Oh, they're not on the same team in the majors. I missed that part.
So yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, you were looking at the fire on Laner Street.
I was.
So Lucas
G. Sorry, you're right. I see it now.
Giolito plays for the White Sox. Max Fried plays for the Braves, and Jack Flattery plays for the Cardinals.
Okay.
So pretty cool.
That's
stuff.
pretty impressive. That's a tip of the cap to the coach of that team.
Yeah.
To
be able to.
But I will say this though, it'll kind of shock me. They lost.
Yeah, they didn't win.
3 Major League Baseball players on their team, and they lost in the second round of the playoffs.
The second round of Valencia, California.
Yeah, so I mean that's nothing to brag about.
No,
you would think you'd have that.
Stuff
I mean, most of these guys, when these guys are in high school, and you see, any of these guys that make the major leagues, usually they win. They have a championship in their belt because they're so good.
Yep.
All right, are the Red Sox done yet?
No, the game's still going on.
The game's still going on.
It's the top of the 9th.
I'm worried about our Red Sox, and this opening day for them is giving me the reasons to worry. This is the kind of stuff I was worried about. Are the Orioles supposed to be good?
No, of course not.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Well, don't you want to talk? That's a good segue into your World Series odds.
Well, I just pulled this up. This came across my phone last night, and who's I mean, I know you can see it in front of you, so
it's right in front of me, Mike.
This is not one of those things I'm going to hide from you. So the Dodgers are number 1.
Yep.
The Yankees are 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes the Padres, the White Sox, the Braves, the Mets, the Twins, the Astros, the Cardinals, the Blue Jays, the Athletics, the Rays, the Reds, the Nationals, the Cubs. I'm reading these all for a reason.
Yep.
The Indians, the Angels, the Phillies, the Brewers, and our Red Sox.
Yes. Yeah.
That is. You win some money. $100 will win you $5,000.
Right. If the
$100 bet
if they win the World Series.
So if you are a believer,
yeah.
And I saw some tweets that maybe the Red Sox are going to surprise us. After today, I'm not feeling any kind of surprise. This is exactly what I thought was going to happen. But the Red Sox right now are with the Marlins, the Brewers. I mean, the Brewers I think are supposed to be pretty good. The Giants. Then they going back. The Orioles are not that far behind the Red Sox. So we were dumping on them that they're going to be really bad this year. If the Orioles are really bad, then that doesn't mean good things for the Red Sox. So, although if you did put $100 in the Orioles, you win $10,000.
Well, that's interesting, but
that's a bad bet. That's giving
bet.
away your $100.
Yeah, the Orioles are not going to win the World Series.
All right, Celtics. I have talked to you about plus minus.
Yeah,
and I don't think you've dismissed me, but I don't think you're a believer as much as I am in plus minus. The Celtics lost to Dallas by 5 the other night. They were within 2 at one point.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum had 30 points, 25 points, whatever. Usual time.
Yeah.
Minus 19. When I looked at the box score, I couldn't believe it.
Why don't you explain? Explain to people what this means, because I know that you talk about it frequently.
Plus minus basically means was when you're on the court, how is the score relative to the other team when you're on the court? That doesn't mean that you scored all the baskets. Doesn't mean you stopped all the baskets. Is when you're out there, how's the team doing?
Right.
And Jason Tatum, by far, was the worst on the team. I don't think anybody else was in double digits.
Right.
Now, the team only lost by 5 points. When Tatum was out there, put it this way, if Tatum played the whole game, this is really screwball math, but if he plays the whole game, they lose by like 22 points based on those, how much he plays of the game and so on. That's a problem. I don't know how else you could say that it's not a problem. That he is supposedly the best guy on the court, but the team does the worst when he's out there.
Right. So he's the best. What you're describing is he's the best individual player on the court for the Celtics, but
no, he's the best individual player for Jason Tatum. He is not the best player for the Celtics,
and he is not. And he is he's the best individual player for the Celtics, but he's not. He does not help the Celtics team.
No, there was a clip that was running around the internet because it was indicative of all the stuff that we're talking about. He got a rebound on the defensive end and dribbled down, held the ball for 24 seconds, and then tried to get to the basket. Right. This is in the middle of the second quarter. This is not. It wasn't at the end of the game. It wasn't anything like that. 24 seconds, had no intention of passing the ball. The ball was stolen from him a couple times because the guys were just playing him.
Right.
Tried to get to the basket, missed the shot, and then was the last guy back on defense. He was not only the last guy back on defense, he was the last guy back on the court. There was 9 other guys on the court that were Brad Stevens was running down the court farther than he was.
Wow.
I mean, it was unbelievable. And it is everything that you need to know about Jason Tatum right now. The Celtics have a Jason Tatum problem.
They do.
They
should have dealt him. Danny should have dealt him.
There are so many defenders of Jason Tatum, though, because you look at the stat line.
Yeah, that's all people. That's what the casual fan looks at.
I know that.
He scored 34th. He scored 40.
He's leading this team in scoring. Yeah, he's leading the team in scoring. So did Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
Did Carmelo Anthony ever win anything?
So did Antoine Walker.
At times, yes. Dominique Wilkins.
Yep.
Great score. Showboat. Was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Did he win? No. And so here we go. The Celtics have a Jason Tatum problem, and Danny Ainge blew it big time. He had I think he had a chance. I'm sure he had a chance to trade him.
Yeah.
You could have gotten him. I said trade him for Luka. I would have given him and Smart up for Luka right now.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So
which is too bad because our Celtics have really imploded, and it looks like they're not even going to make the playoffs.
Think about that,
which is embarrassing. I had them in the NBA Finals.
2 All-Stars.
And
2 All-Stars.
Yeah.
Brad Stevens has to go. This is not his fault, but he has to go. The guys aren't listening to him, and Danny Ainge has put together a really crappy mix of players.
Yeah,
not talent. He's put a crappy mix of players together that don't want to play together. And you hear all the time, we're trying, we're putting our best in there. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. No, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're not making each other better. You're not playing as a team.
Right.
You're not playing defense. Your star player is the last one getting back. And it wasn't like he fell down and slipped and tripped after the basket. No, he was just looking at the ref like, oh, where's my call?
Where's my foul? He's not hustling.
Terrible. All right. Why don't you explain what's happening when we come back?
When we come back, we have my buddy Ray Sterling, who spent some time working in professional sports. He now works for college, and he's going to just share some of his stories and teams that he's worked with and players that he's met. And then we're also have him part of this segment where we're going to ask a question about who past or present professional athlete you would like to have coffee with and why. We'll be right back.
3. So, Charlie, you have a lifelong friend on the phone right now, and we're going to hear about his sports journey.
Definitely.
All right.
Ray, are you there?
Oh, my goodness. Yes, I am.
Ray,
how you guys doing?
Yeah, we're doing great. So happy for that you're able to call in, and looking forward to talking to you. One of the things, I don't know if you heard, were you listening to the show earlier?
Unfortunately, I was not.
Okay.
I was out working with women's lacrosse.
Right on. Well, one of the things we talked about was our trivia question answer was Ricky Henderson, who has the most leadoff home runs in the history of Major League Baseball. And I was sharing with Mike a little bit how we used to be out, in Oakland, and Ricky Henderson would be out in left field, and he'd be talking with the fans and playing with the fans. And I used to go to a lot of those games with you, which was some really good memories.
Yes.
All right.
Wait. I want to ask Ray a question here since we brought that up.
Yeah.
So you've gone to baseball games with Charlie. Do you know that he gets really grouchy with the players that don't turn around and talk to him?
Yes.
Ray, I don't know if you don't need to answer that, Ray. But I'm just the whole thing. The whole issue that we have is JBJ, who used to be with the Red Sox, as you know, the center fielder. JBJ would not interact with any of the fans in center field, which frustrates me because when Mike Trout's in town, Mike Trout will talk to people, interact with people, and when I go to a baseball game, I want to interact with the players in a positive way.
Does it matter if they go 0 for 4 or 4 for 4?
I don't care what they do.
As long as they turn around and say hi to you.
That's right, and
okay.
they'd always talk to Ray. I know that, but Ray, I want to hear about you. We don't want to hear about me. You started your journey in professional sports when you were very young. I have just some quick thank yous because you introduced me to Steve Young, you introduced me to Joe Montana, you gave me a Kevin Mitchell baseball bat. You even introduced me to my idol Randy Cross, who played for the San Francisco 49ers. He was a center and a guard. But tell us about your journey, what you've done, and where you are now.
Oh, my goodness. Started off when we were sophomore and a junior year summer working with the San Francisco 49ers back in 1987. It's just interesting now that I'm here in Cleveland, Ohio, working with John Carroll University as their head athletic equipment manager, knowing that Canton is so close to here and flying in. I remember flying into Cleveland and taking almost an hour and a half, 2-hour drive down to Canton and going through the Hall of Fame real quick after we set up our locker room in the gym next to the stadium and next to the Hall of Fame. Going through the exhibits, my boss at the time, Bronco Hennick, who was the equipment manager, was standing next to Joe Montana, and as we were going through the exhibits, there was his locker exhibit, and he looks over to me. Bronco says, "Hey, Ray, would you like a picture with Joe in front of his locker display?" I'm like, "No, that's okay." Joe looks over and goes, "You sure, Ray?" I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine." Here we are, 30-something years later. I'm going, "Oh, my goodness, I should have taken a picture."
You should have. You should have. Yeah.
Yes, I've been blessed to have worked in the NBA with the Golden State Warriors for a couple of seasons, the San Jose Sharks for a couple as well. Baseball, minor league baseball. I was a bat boy for the San Francisco Giants back in 1990 and 91, and their Class A affiliate clubhouse manager. Worked with the Red Sox in 2016 in Salem, so I've got Andrew Benintendi, Yohan Magata, Mauricio Dubon, and you name it that came through there. Devers as well.
Benintendi, Rafael Devers. Well, before we come back, Mike, did you have a question?
Yeah, Ray, real quick. Can you just tell us what an equipment manager does for a professional sports team or a college sports team? What's involved with your day-to-day job?
Yes. So I'll do football. I was last with the XFL in DC as their assistant equipment manager. What we do is we order all the coaches' apparel that you see on the sideline from head to toe, all the players from head to toe, the apparel, the jackets, the helmets, shoulder pads, thigh pads, knee pads. Then when we go on the road, we have to pack all the players' bags, all the coaches' bags, the equipment trunks, which have the jerseys, the shoulder pads, the backup ones, and we go into the stadium. We set up the locker rooms, set up the coaches' locker rooms as well, and then we have a crew that does the sidelines as far as helping us out, setting our game day stuff up. Baseball, pretty much the same thing. The locker, it's just a little bit different with baseball. When I worked in baseball, when you set up a locker, you went from your shorts, T-shirts, dry fits, short sleeve, long sleeve, then you went to your uniforms, and then you had your jackets. Your shoes down below were your shower shoes, your molded, your BP shoes, and your gamers. And that's how it was. On getaway days, as soon as they went out for the game, we would pull the bags out, and you would start packing, folding up everything, putting it nice and neat in the bags. So when they came in off the field after the game, they would take a shower, throw their toiletry bag in there, whatever clothes that they had left over, throw it in there, zip it up, and it would be taken out to the truck. And within 45 minutes after a game, that truck is gone. Buses are gone with the players, and you are on a plane within an hour and 15 minutes after the game, depending on how far this airport is.
That's great. Ray, before we keep going, you have a story that you shared with me. Mike and I are huge Red Sox fans. You know that I love the Red Sox. And Rafael Devers is kind of a stud for the Red Sox. Can you just share a little bit about your Rafael Devers story? I just think it's amazing.
Yes. Back in 2016, the season was over, players were leaving, and he asked me to move his car from the apartment complex back to the stadium.
So this is Rafael Devers ask you this?
This was Rafael Devers asking me.
Okay.
I had driven a player's car up to Pennsylvania to his agent, came back down like 4 o'clock in the morning, was gone all day. I'm like, okay, I'll move it in the morning. Well, that never happened. I said, okay, well, guess what? I'll do it the next day. So go out there and pull up, and his car's gone. Contact the manager at the apartment complex, and she said his registration to the car was expired, so they towed it. So I called the towing yard, and they said, we have it. It's going to cost X amount of money. It's not registered. So I called his agent and told his agent what was going on, and that was that. This was in September of 2016. Fast forward to April, new clubhouse manager on the home side calls me up and goes, hey, do you know what happened to Devers' car? I said, yeah, it was at the impound lot. The agent was supposed to get it. That's all I know. Everything should be fine. And about 10 minutes later, he calls me back and goes, well, the coach that was supposed to get it never got it, and they have actually auctioned off the car.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oops.
So you
not my fault.
You were responsible for Rafael Devers' car getting auctioned off.
Auctioned off. Yep.
Indirectly. That's crazy. Hey, we have a question that we'd like you to answer with us, and we haven't answered it yet. But if you could have coffee with any professional athlete, past or present, who would it be and why?
Roberto Clemente.
Okay, why?
For one, I'm part Puerto Rican.
Okay.
To the impact that he has had on the Latin players. Mm-hmm. Just like Hank Aaron, Dusty Baker, all the Jackie Robinson. I mean, for the minorities. And it is such great, how should I say, impact, and it's their legacies continue to this day, on how great he was as a player, both on the field and off the field, as a person. And you talk to the Latin guys, and it's Roberto Clemente, or somebody from Venezuela that has had their legacy, in the big leagues. So all these Latin guys that come from different countries that are in the big leagues, they look at their fellow countrymen that have been in the big leagues and for mentorship and learn from them. And with Roberto Clemente being the first one Latin player to really dig himself into Major League history and get 3,000 hits, you can't avoid it.
Yeah.
And know that his legacy still lives on to this day.
That's
and it's been almost 50 years since he's passed away.
Right. Yeah. No, that's great. Great selection. Now, if you were a betting man, Ray, which I know you're not, who's winning the World Series this year?
Dyers.
If you put $100 on it, you would win $350.
Yeah, $350 because the Dodgers are obviously favored. You think they're going to be able to repeat?
I think so. If everybody stays healthy,
they're the best. They're the best team in the MLB by far.
Yeah,
and Vegas knows.
I know Vegas.
Vegas knows.
Yeah. So Ray, first off, I want to thank you for chatting with us. You've got a million stories, and I would love to have you back in the future because we could just talk. I mean, we would need the show. Our station manager Eric would need the show for like 8 to 10 hours for us to hear all your stories about professional sports and professional athletes and the impact that you've made. Before we let you go, just in 15 to 20 seconds, tell us about your current job and give a plug for them.
The head athletic equipment and facilities manager at John Carroll University, Blue Streaks. We've got London Foster, big names, that alumni here. We've got the GM, Nick Cesario from the Texans, who played here. Tom Cesario, the GM from the Chargers as well. So we've got our name pretty much all over the NFL right now, and everybody's looking at us. I forgot the top of my head. The head coach from the Chargers was here 4 years ago as the defensive coordinator.
That's awesome.
So,
well, Ray, thanks so much for calling. I love you, brother, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, love you guys too. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Ray.
All right, you're welcome. Take care. Bye.
All right, we're going to have to get to our coffee, guys.
We'll have to do that next time.
Week. Yep. Just a quick update. The Red Sox proceeded to be 2-hit today.
Yeah, well, they got a second hit. Good for them.
They did get a say. It was J.D. Martinez. It was a double, actually.
Oh, good.
Hunter Renfroe, 3 at-bats,
yeah,
3 strikeouts.
Oh, so according to your rules,
he's out.
He's out. Literally out.
Bobby Dahlbeck,
yeah,
3 at-bats,
yeah,
2 strikeouts.
Okay, all right. It just was not a good day for the Red Sox. They lost 3-0 to the Baltimore Orioles, who stink, which now makes it that the Red Sox, as of opening day, stink.
What's nice about baseball season starting is we're going to have a lot to talk about the next time we're here.
Yeah, yes, we are.
Hopefully it's some positive stuff. And don't forget that we are on Spotify. Mike and the Hoss on Spotify, in addition to WASR.net.
Have a great weekend, and happy Easter.
Bye-bye.